Hello, this is Mr. Collier, and today we're solving equations or systems of equations by elimination. Okay, so let's take a look at our first system of equations. We've got these two equations, and we want to find the solution. Well, one way to do it by elimination is we're either going to add or subtract both equations together to get one of the variables to eliminate. So if I look at this equation, if I add these two x terms together, I'm going to get 5x. If I subtract, I'll get x. So nothing would eliminate if I did that. But if I look at the y's, we have a positive y and a negative y. If I add them together, I get 0. So it would eliminate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add both the equations together. So what's going to happen is we're going to have 3x plus 2x is 5x. Y plus negative y gives you 0. And 20 plus 5 is going to give me 25. Okay, so we basically have 5x equals 25, and that's the elimination part. What we've done is we've eliminated the y's. Now we can solve for x. We can divide both sides by 5. We get x equals 5. So that's half of our answer. We need to find the y value now. So we can take either one of these equations and solve for y. I'm going to take the first one just because it's positive y. So I'm going to use that. 3x plus y equals 20, and we already know the x is 5, so we're going to substitute that in. And we're going to have 3 times 5 plus y equals 20, 15 plus y equals 20. And one last step, we get y equals 5. So we've got our x and our y. Our solution is 5, 5. That's the point at which the two lines intersect. That's the solution of the system of equations. Okay, so if you look at the next one, now if you look at this here, we're either going to, the elimination, we're going to add or subtract in order to get something to eliminate. Okay, now if you look at the y's, if you add or subtract them, you don't get them to eliminate. If you look at the x's, we have a positive 1x and a positive 1x. If we add them, we get 2x. So what we need to do is subtract in order to get them to eliminate. So if I do x minus x, I get 0. Here I have 4y minus 2y gives me 2y. And here be very, very careful. I am subtracting, so I'm going to do 15 minus negative 7. 15 minus negative 7 is the same as adding 7. So it's actually going to be 22. That's a very common mistake. Be careful. It's not 15 minus 7. It's 15 minus negative 7, which is 15 plus 7. So we got 2y equals 22. We can divide by 2. We get y equals 11. Okay, and that's half of our solution. And we can take either equation and solve for x. I'm going to take the second one just because it's got a smaller number here, smaller coefficient of y. So I'm going to take that equation, x plus 2y equals negative 7. Substitute in the y is 11. And you get x plus 2 times 11 equals negative 7. X plus 22 equals negative 7. And then one final step. We're going to get x equals negative 29. So there is our x value. So the solution, the solution is negative 29, 11. Okay, let's do a couple more of those. Okay, in this one here, obviously if you add or subtract the y values, you do not get elimination, so you have to add to get the x's to cancel. So we're going to add these together. Here I'm going to get 0. Negative 2y plus positive 8 is going to be 6y. And if we add those together, we're going to get negative 36. Okay, so that's just 6y equals negative 36, and we can divide by 6. We get y equals negative 6. Okay, so that's the y value. Now we have to get the x value. So either one, actually I'll take this one because we have a positive x term. Maybe that'll make it easier, maybe it won't, I don't know. So we're going to use 4x plus 8y equals negative 24. And we have y equals negative 6, so we can put that in for y. And then we're going to work this out and solve it. 4x minus 48 equals negative 24. 4x, oops, I'm going to add 48 to both sides. So 4x equals 24. Divide by 4, I get x equals 6. So our solution is 6, negative 6. Okay, one final example. In this equation, look at the x's. You can't get elimination by adding or subtracting. So, look at the y's. We have a positive, they match. They're a positive 1y and a positive 1y. So we can actually add these, or actually, oops, that's not going to work. If you add them, you get 2y. So we have to subtract in order to get elimination. Okay, and be very careful here. Remember, this is subtracting. So we're going to have 8 minus negative 3 is like 8 plus 3. You get 11x. Okay, and then 1y minus 1y, that's 0, of course. And remember, this is 16 minus negative 5. Okay, 16 minus negative 5 is like 16 plus 5, which is going to give me negative 11. So we've got 11x equals negative 11. So of course x has to be equal to negative 1. Okay, so that's half of our solution. We need to find the y value now. We can use either one. I guess it doesn't matter. I'll pick this one because it has smaller numbers. Negative 3x plus y equals negative 5. We know x is equal to 1. So that's going to go in here. So we have negative 3 times negative 1 plus y equals negative 5. This is 3 plus y equals negative 5. Subtract 3 from both sides. Y equals negative 8. And that's our solution. So our solution is negative 1, negative 8.